Morning, everyone. It's Wednesday morning, and this is video number 831, your pre-opening comment for the day. Okay, let me do a little bit of catching up here because there were some things that we missed. Yesterday, the Case-Shiller numbers came out, and they were the biggest numbers in history, up 14.9% on a year-over-year basis. And that jibes pretty closely with the FHFA numbers, which are monthly, which were 1.8% higher. So housing prices, as if that's a surprise to anyone, are higher, substantially higher, record higher. This morning we had the ADP payroll number, and the estimates were everywhere from 400 to 720. They came in at 692,000. And just a note, last month's 986,000 was revised down to 886,000. So a revision from last month of down 100,000 new on the payroll. Okay, this morning's, I work pretty hard, and I'm not always right, but there are some things that I'm usually right on. And one of those is exhibited this morning. Virgin Galactic, SPCE. This is, pretty solidly a meme stock, and pretty solidly a Reddit favorite. And of course, it was one of the first major deals in a SPAC. But what I want to point out is that when things go up, absurdly up, and I know that's kind of a relative term, when things go up the way that this has, they invariably come back to the downside. And that's what I want to show you this morning. Friday of last week shows a high here of 57.29. In point of fact, on pre-market, it traded over 60. Today, it's 44.63, 62, 60, 44.60, and that's down about $3. It was also down, it was also down $7 yesterday. It was down $1 and change the day before. On a technical basis, it was through the upper Bollinger Band, and by the way, made a lower high. So this looks like a bit of a double top on the weekly. It is a little bit oversold on the weekly. It is a little bit oversold on the daily, but as you can see, it did move pretty extremely last week on that news. Okay. In other news, Salesforce CRM doing $8 billion in bonds. That's for partial payment for the acquisition of Slack, symbol WORK. Facebook, amazing. Another one that went up massively. This is a stock that is up 10% in a week. The stock had started off around it closed 351.89, down 375 yesterday. Let's take a look and see what it's doing this morning, because the market's not doing much, so it's down 70 cents. But the point is that in the last 8 trading days, it's gone from 327 to 358. That's $32 on 320. So we're talking about exactly 10% in a week. Microsoft and Apple were the two leaders yesterday, helping the Dow out. And DD, is the Chinese ride share company. It has filed for an IPO. It is priced, it looks like, around $14. And the only reason that I bring that up is specifically because Uber owns a stake in it. They haven't made any mention about whether they're going to distribute the proceeds or spin out the stock to shareholders or just outright sell it. But depending upon how successful DiDi's IPO is, it could be a pretty major positive for Uber. Moderna, new all-time high, 240.5, up 350. So continuing to do well there. And two little ones that I've been watching and mentioning here. CERE, CERE, is a biotech which had positive results on a schizophrenia drug. So, a week ago we were trading at 12.5. Yesterday we hit 33.80 and closed on the day 27.83, up 15 and change, 121%. And today it's up a little again, another $0.50. One that did the opposite, MRIN Software, they have a deal with Instacart. I don't know how many of you use it. I tend to use Whole Foods as a Prime member, but Instacart is also very helpful, and it deals with a lot of the other grocery stores, the Stop and Shops and Shaw's and etc. A week ago it was $1.70, $1.71. A week ago today. Yesterday it was 7.5, up 365, or 97%. Pardon me, that was Monday. Yesterday it traded as high as 18.82 and closed 13.65, up 615, or 82% again. This morning, trading 13 and change. I have seen it down a bit, but it seems to be holding up. But, it's another one. It becomes a crowd favorite right up until the time that it isn't. So that's about it. The gold, we got long the gold yesterday, day before yesterday. I averaged a little yesterday. If we don't hold here, we'll be gone from that trade. On Sunday, if you listened to my weekly update video on the gold, I was saying I thought it could get back to 1735 to 1750, but there you go. Our futures trader and my partner Dennis is looking at the Fibonacci retracement numbers. This is the same thing that he did before, and in the gold was his number in here was 1660, and he in fact got long around here in the 1660s and was a seller when it reached its objective here at 1910 or so about a $22,000 or $23,000 per contract gain on it. So we'll hope that turns back up. Bitcoin is down a little. The oil is up again. I think that the high that it has to go through this time, I want to say it's, I'll look, but I think it's 74.70 or so. Let's see, 74.45. We came down and closed, slightly higher, and now we're on our way back up again. The rest of the complex is also higher, but the outstanding one is nat gas. You know that we've been big in nat gas for a while. We're not in the UNG right now. We do own some tellurian, which I think is a great long-term play and is involved with the nat gas. Bitcoin was again slightly lower after a pretty impressive rally. It's down 1,700 today. But I'll show you what that rally looks like. And more importantly, it has continued to make higher highs. Yesterday's high was 36,650. Today's high sits an inside day today, 36,215 is the high. Ideally, I'd like to see it hold this range. I wouldn't like to see it close below 34,525. Be great if it could make a slightly higher high. Again, today, it's the 5-day. The purple line has turned up and looks like it could go back through the 20-day, and we did close above the 20-day yesterday. All right, everyone. There'll be a link here on another new 2 minutes with SYKE. That is Sharif SYKE. He's the guy who built Cheniere Energy, LNG, a stock that went from $3 to basically $100. And Tellurian is the company that he's building now, and it too is a natural gas play. So there you go. Be careful out there, and don't forget, this week is going to get a little thin starting tomorrow, but Friday morning we still have those employment numbers, the monthly federal numbers. So that's something to be aware of. Have a good one. I'll be back later.